You know, in the NBA playoffs, some games are just another game. But then there are the ones that become legendary. And today, we're breaking down a Game 2 that started off looking like a total blowout and somehow ended up as an absolute instant classic. 19. Yeah, that's the number. So let me ask you, in a playoff game, on the road, against the defending champs, what does a 19-point deficit usually mean? Yeah, for most teams, it means you're packing it in, game over. But for the Minnesota Timberwolves, well, it was just the beginning. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in Denver, which, as you know, is a brutally tough place for any visiting team to play. You've got the defending champion Nuggets, they're at home, they're looking to take a commanding 2-0 series lead. And that crowd was absolutely electric. I mean, there's just so much pressure on the home team to protect their court, right? And the Nuggets, man, they were feeding off that energy. They came out looking to completely dominate, and for a while they really did. They were playing with that confidence you'd expect from the defending champions. And I mean, they just unleashed an absolute barrage in that first quarter. It was an offensive explosion. The Nuggets were hitting shots from everywhere, and the Timberwolves, they looked totally overwhelmed. They fell behind by double digits almost right away. And this is where we get back to that magic number, 19. That was the biggest lead of the game. It seriously looked like a rout was on. You could almost hear the commentators starting to write their post-game stories, all about a dominant Nuggets performance. But then, something shifted. And wow, what a shift it was. The second quarter is where the entire story of this game, and maybe the whole series, just completely flipped on its head. I mean, just look at this. It's almost a perfect mirror image of the first quarter, isn't it? The Timberwolves came out and gave it right back to the Nuggets. They were the ones who scored 39 points. They held that high-powered Denver offense to just 25. It was a stunning, unbelievable reversal of fortune. So think about that. In just 12 minutes of basketball, that huge, seemingly impossible 19-point deficit was gone, completely erased. All that work the Nuggets put in to build their lead just vanished. The game was tied at 64-64 heading into the locker room. The whole game was reset, back to 0. So with the score all knotted up and the tension just ratcheting up, the second half turned into a showcase for two of the league's most exciting guards. It stopped being about team runs. Now it was a straight-up head-to-head battle. And this duel was incredibly even. You had Anthony Edwards for Minnesota and Jamal Murray for Denver, and both guys finished with exactly 30 points. It was amazing. They were going shot for shot, each one just refusing to let his team fall behind. Yeah, you could really feel it watching the game. The Nuggets needed a big shot, and who else but Jamal Murray, pulling up from way deep to get the home crowd roaring. Just a massive basket. But then, right on the other end, Minnesota had the answer. Anthony Edwards, with that signature step-back jumper of his, just silencing the arena. He was reminding everyone that, no, the Timberwolves were not going away. And that's honestly what it felt like, a heavyweight prize fight. Every single time one team landed a punch, the other came right back with a counterpunch. The lead was just swinging back and forth, and neither team could create any real separation at all. So of course, this all led to a nail-biting final quarter. I mean, every single possession felt like it could be the one that decided the whole game. The pace slowed down, the defense got super tight, and you could just feel the pressure was immense. You can see it right here in the numbers. Look how close that third quarter was, with Denver just barely edging out Minnesota. But the fourth quarter, man, that's where the difference was made. Minnesota found another gear, and they outscored Denver by 8 points to finally pull away for good. It all came down to execution in those final minutes. You had a powerful dunk from Jaden McDaniels that kept the energy high, then a super clutch deep three-pointer from Nickeil Alexander-Walker that stretched the lead. And then, of course, the star. Anthony Edwards basically sealed it with a tough drive to the hoop for the and one. Those were the game-winning plays, right there. So, how'd they do it? Really, how does a team that's down 19 on the road actually manage to win against the defending champs? Well, there's one key stat that tells you almost the entire story. Okay, check this out. The Denver Nuggets led this game for 65% of the time. The Timberwolves, they only led for 28%. Just let that sink in for a second. They won a game they were trailing for nearly 2/3 of the total minutes. I mean, that is the absolute definition of a resilient, gritty, hard-fought comeback. And a win like this, it isn't just one win on the scoreboard. No, this is a massive momentum shift. It plants a tiny seed of doubt in the minds of the champions, and it gives the underdog an incredible surge of confidence. And underneath all that drama were some key fundamentals. They won the battle on the boards, which is huge against a bigger team like Denver. They shot the ball more efficiently. And critically, they weathered their own mistakes to steal a win on the road. And you have to do that to win in the playoffs. And there you have it, the final score of a game that, believe me, is going to be remembered for a long time. An absolutely incredible victory for the visiting team. So here's the biggest takeaway from all of this. This series is now tied 1-1. And by winning in Denver, the Timberwolves have officially stolen home court advantage. All of the pressure now shifts entirely to the Nuggets as the series heads to Minnesota. And that leaves us with the big question as we look ahead. Was this just a miraculous one-game comeback by a really tough team? Or are we actually witnessing the beginning of a changing of the guard, a real power shift in the Western Conference? I guess only the rest of the series will tell.